Alright, I'm going to show you guys how I turned my 4th of July tank top into a halter top. I don't have another tank top that's similar in style as the tank top that I had, but this t-shirt will do, and really this should work on any kind of t-shirt styled tops. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how I cut this. I did watch a lot of videos, and I just kind of put together what I liked the most, and just kind of went from there. Okay, so all you will need for this is literally just a t-shirt and some fabric scissors. First thing we're gonna do is the sleeves. So we want to start on the outside of the collar, and we want to kind of go down to the bottom of the sleeve. So we will do that on both sides. I don't have a stand to like hold my phone while I'm cutting, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut both of these sleeves off, and then I will show you guys what that looks like after I get these sleeves off. So here is the shirt with one sleeve cut off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to this. Alright, so now we have both sleeves off. So we are going to go ahead and flip the shirt. Here is the shirt flipped over. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to cut a straight line down the back, but please make sure you are only cutting the back piece off. You don't want to take the whole thing off, like of the front. You want to make sure the front stays intact. Otherwise, you won't really have a shirt to cover anything. So let's go ahead and cut that line down the middle. Alright, so now we have the line cut out. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a line down the back, and make sure the front is still intact. Make sure you did not cut through that top piece. Now we are actually going to cut this part off without cutting the collar. You do not want to cut the collar, so we're going to cut straight across here on the back piece only, not the front. And then we are also going to cut a line from the armpit across to the back of this. Again, only the back piece. Please do not cut the front of your shirt. So I will show you guys what that looks like after I'm done doing it on this side. That way you can see the difference on what it looks like before I cut the other side. Okay, so after you cut the collar, that should still be intact. Again, you should only be cutting below the collar on the back. Make sure the collar stays intact, and then you're going to cut from the armpit to the end, just on the back piece. So you should just have a piece of fabric that comes off. And again, the collar is still intact. Please do not cut that off. You may lose a piece of your tag like I did. That's okay, you don't really need that. But again, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we just did on this side to the other side. Again, your lines do not have to be perfect. It does help when you stretch the fabric so you don't end up with a bunch of bumps, and then you'll end up with a whole bunch of zigzag cuts. But other than that, it does not have to be perfect. You can have some imperfections. I will show you how to fix that later. But we are going to go ahead and cut this side the exact same as this side. Again, please do not cut the front of the shirt. Okay, so I went ahead and did the same thing to this side, so you should be able to just take that piece of fabric off. We don't need that anymore, and the collar should, again, still be intact. That way you can see both sides. That's going to be the front of the shirt. Now we're going to work on the bottom. So the first thing I like to do before I do anything with the bottom is measure how short I want this shirt to be. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how short I want to cut it. Usually I just kind of open it up, and then I will fold it. So I'll show you what that looks like. Let me fold it. Okay, so I fold it about halfway up, so I'll like kind of try to line the bottom part with the top part right here. It's definitely not even, but again, that's okay. Your lines do not have to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here just to make sure I am removing this part from there. I just do it this way with it folded because it helps me keep the line as straight as I can, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so after cutting against the bottom here, we're just gonna go ahead and take this piece of fabric and just throw it aside. We don't need that anymore. So now you will just want to measure this against you. Make sure that the shirt is the length that you want it. I would just put this up to around your neck. You can always tie it really quick and then tie these pieces behind your back just to see if it is the correct length that you would like. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and fold this again to whichever length. You can always be precise and measure exactly like how short you want to make it. I usually just kind of make an estimated guess on how much shorter I want to make it. Last time, I just went ahead and folded this up again about halfway and cut it about that short. I'm not sure if that's how short I'm going to do it this time. I may do it a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and try. But once you're done figuring out exactly how short you want your shirt to be, we will show you guys how to cut the rest of these. Let me figure that out really quick and then I'll show you guys what to do next. Okay, so I decided this is the perfect length. I do not want to go any shorter. Now, a lot of people I saw will just take this whole thing and use it as the tie. I personally do not like to have a huge knot behind my back, especially if I know I'm going to be like driving in the car or sitting down on a chair all day, something like that. You know, I do not like to have a knot behind my back. It's pretty uncomfortable. So what I am going to do before I show you why our straight lines or our not straight lines do not matter, I am going to go ahead and cut these in half, only to the seam. I'm not going to cut any farther than that, so we're going to do the same on this side. And that is going to count for 2 different ties. So I'm going to have 2 different back ties on this one just because it is longer than the last one that I made. The last one was a little bit shorter than this. So they were actually thinner strips of fabric right here, so it was not uncomfortable at all when I just had the one tied. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these really quick, and then I will show you guys what to do if you guys decide that you do not want to cut these. You'll just skip to the next step, but I'm going to cut those really quick. Alright, so here is what it looks like cut into 2 different strips. Remember, you are only cutting to the seam. You don't want to cut any farther than that because this is the front of your shirt. Again, I did the same thing on this side, but if you have less fabric here and you did decide to go shorter than this, you did not have any need to cut this into 2. You could just have 1 strip. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stretch the fabric out everywhere that we cut it. So anywhere we cut it, we want to stretch the fabric as much as we can with both hands, just to make sure the lines look better. That's what's going to get rid of your funky lines. You're just going to pull on the fabric. It should get rid of any like super weird looking lines. So let's do that really quick. All right, and I am running out of time here, so let me hurry up and put this on so I can show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so after you tie the collar around your neck and you tie both of the back pieces, you should have a halter top that looks very similar to this. I never wore this t-shirt because I didn't like the way it fit me, but I actually really love this, so I'm likely going to start wearing this again. Thank you guys for watching!